Hello, everyone. Whether you're on Instagram or LinkedIn, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're here for the 420 by 420 Destination Elevated Fundraiser, Destination Elevated Lifted Lodging Fundraiser. Sorry, that's throwing me off right now. Let's see if we might need to mute. It's a little activity happening outside. But it's all good. It's all part of the city's soundtrack, right? And that's why this mission is so important to us. Again, many of you watching this right now may have been born and raised in the city, just like I was in Philadelphia. And there's a lot of things that we've gotten used to, right? And it's not until we are exposed to nature, it's not until we are actually able to immerse ourselves in green spaces that we realize what we've been missing. And not to say everyone is an outdoorsy type person or anything like that, but outdoor spaces have given me a lot of clarity, have definitely been a huge part of my self-programming. And my spiritual journey. And I think a lot of people can agree that, it's a necessary and essential component of just existing and our wellness, how we actually take care of ourselves. So that's why this mission, again, is very near and dear to our hearts for various reasons. There's a multitude of people involved with this project who are just amazing in their own things in their own right. We have a very beautiful team who has the right idea about what these green spaces, wellness spaces, and community spaces should look like. And that was very important to us as we began our journey of seeking out land and or already existing resorts in the New York State area that we could potentially call home, and then you could potentially in the future call home as well. We, of course, are looking for members currently. We are accepting contributions for our 420 by 420 fundraiser. And what that is we're looking for 420 contributors to donate a minimum of $42. That's it, one-time donation by 420. So that is a lot easier said than done. We are making small strides right now with this particular fundraiser, but slow and steady wins the race. We're committed to this. We know that this is something that the community wants to see. This is going to be a BIPOC, Latina-owned, woman-owned wellness resort in the state of New York. Not to mention, of course, we are not just cannabis friendly, but cannabis forward. We are really leaning into the cannabis luxury scene and demographic. And we're looking forward to bringing you some amazing brands and businesses and working again with marginalized businesses, social equity businesses in particular. I think that cannabis tourism is the perfect market for a lot of niche and or boutique brands to really get involved and really make a mark in ways that they may not have been able to, because, not to get political, their brands aren't being bought because of large MSOs, the affordability of MSOs, right? So we want to give these brands a different way to shine and develop some very unique and strategic partnerships for this resort acquisition and our programming and all of the other wonderful things that we're going to be able to offer on this resort. So again, really excited to share some of the details about that with you today. We're going to be on every single day until 420. I actually have an event to go to, so we're going to see how that's going to work in the evening. We're still going to pop on at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be bringing on guests for some of those live streams to talk about various topics related to cannabis tourism. If that is you and you are interested in hopping on and chatting with us a little bit, again, not just about our acquisition, but we want to hear from those in cannabis tourism from all over. We're looking to work, we're looking to partner. It's all about strategy. Whether you're just getting started or you've been in the game for 20 years, we should always be reinventing ourselves and creating new channels and methods to connect. So again, thank you so much for being here with us, for listening to me ramble on about, this community that we're building. And that's something that, I'm continuously emphasizing. This is not just a resort. This is not just a way for us to make money. For me, and if you've been following Destination Elevated over the years, we are all about building community and ways to connect with one another, specifically in outdoor spaces. So I've been doing events for 20 plus years, and I can tell you that nothing has been more rewarding or fulfilling than the wellness programming and nature programming that we've been able to implement into our events within the last decade. Just people's responses, not even coming into these spaces, not knowing what to expect, but leaving, feeling like, family, leaving, feeling like, man, I really needed this. And that feeling right there is, again, why we really hone in on, again, bringing people of color back out into the outdoor spaces, because there is this misconception that we don't like the outdoors, and that is not true whatsoever. You go down south, they're going to tell you different. And these are facts. So again, we're just thankful and really in our last home stretch for again acquiring this resort. We're working with Lifted Lodging. We recently decided to partner in a different way. If you've been following us since last year, we were looking at another property in upstate New York. We decided that this property would be a lot more suitable for what we were trying to do. Also a lot more easier attainable. So it is half the cost of the last property that we were looking at. It's a little further up north, but I love it because, again, for me, that's seclusion. If you're really looking to be somewhere unique and secluded and just kind of feel like you're out there, this is the spot for that. This is truly a retreat from the city, just from the day-to-day stressors of life. Hopefully, we can't always leave it all back home, but we hope that you can come and stay with us. And then again, experience focusing on BIPOC wellness, BIPOC travel. Come somewhere where you're going to be included, where that you're going to be treated with decency, with respect as a human being. We love to think that a lot of these travel spaces are welcoming. And yeah, there are a handful that are really amazing, but unfortunately, it's hit or miss sometimes. And, as people of color, just a few years ago, there were very large hotel chains mentioned in the news for their treatment of people of color, right? So again, we're building the space, we're building the world, if you will, that we want to see in these spaces. And I throw this statistic out all of the time because to me, it's astounding. And then of course we see this in other spaces as well. But again, this just kind of brings home why it's important for us to really navigate cannabis tourism specifically as women of color. So only 11% of tourist and hospitality businesses in the world are owned by people of color, 11%. Now let's compare that to about 70 to 80% of the workforce that is within those spaces and comprised of people of color. So we are in these spaces as workers in low-level positions and things like that, but not ownership. The ownership is not there. So again, for us, it is about continuing to build these spaces. We're not the first BIPOC space in the state of New York, to create something like this for us. And that's important because we need more of us, right? We're not trying to be the first anything. April Beckner actually, has an amazing spot out in New York. I've known people that have stayed there, and they have amazing things to say about it. But again, just strategizing, partnering, learning from one another, connecting. We're all looking for, I think, the same thing, especially with a lot that's going on in the world right now. We're looking for a community, whatever that looks like for each of you. And we hope that, again, the resort can be a space where you find that year after year. This isn't just a one-time stay. You're not going to get I stayed at the Hilton stay. You're going to get, I created memories at this spot type feel when you leave our resort. And that's what's going to keep you coming back year after year, is us, again, building that community vibe with you. You're not just a guest at the resort, your family. So that, again, really brings in the exclusivity of this all. This is a membership-based stay. So what that means is that you would essentially buy packages to stay with us and have your travel already paid for the year. You already know you're coming up, maybe once in the spring or summer, and then once in the fall. It's beautiful seasonally, no matter what the season is. So we were actually out there for the first time when it snowed, and it was just so picturesque and gorgeous. People were out on their snowmobiles on the actual lake, which, by the way, this is a lakefront property. It's gorgeous. I would love to tell you geographically where it's located and all of that. But we are reserving specific details for the info session. But it is very, very far north. It is literally almost smack on the border of Canada. So it is a ways up. I'm a Philly girl, so that's going to probably be as far north that I've ever gone or anticipated going. But we're really looking forward to, again, just locally, there are, our farms that we're going to be working with. We are also going to have our own micro farms so that we can set up a farm to table program for the restaurant as well. So we're excited about building that in. Rochelle Sanchez was on a few nights in a row talking about regenerative agriculture and why more restaurants that are able to should implement that model when it comes to, again, providing that fresh farm to table experience. So yes, just so many different exciting things. Let me check, make sure there's no comments. If you have any questions about anything that I am saying right now, please let me know. I'm just here to build the excitement about what we're doing, and I hope you guys get excited with us as well. For those of you just tapping in, we are here for the 420 by 420 fundraiser, destination elevated and lifted lodging. We are ready to go on this property in upstate New York. We are looking forward to being stewards of this land, especially as women of color. And our team as well is comprised of other women as well. So that's super dope. Shout out to Foxhole Hospitality, who has been helping us through this process from day one. They have all been amazing. Devin's amazing. That is our profit girl, and she's just as excited about this as we are. We're here for the vision, to bring the spirit to the project, to bring a little culture to the project, as well as make sure that we're represented, right? When it comes to programming. We are, again, ecstatic to be 50% owners in this. So just FYI, that is a thing, which we're super excited about. And then, of course, really bringing some, again, luxury cannabis experiences to our guests. That is what we mostly look forward to, what that is going to look like and entail. We're going to be working with local dispensaries, of course, to do pop-ups and to be able to have different products available for you upon check-in. And again, not everyone does flowers, so we're going to have a variety of products available to you working with local dispensaries. And just thinking outside the box, when it comes to cannabis products, for example, we have Terp Queen skincare in New York. That is not a product that we're consuming at all, but It is cannabis adjacent. She focuses on terpenes and the creation of her body products. Like that is a brand that I would be interested in working with, you know? So when it comes to cannabis tourism, think about all of the different types of products and needs that a guest may have. And then think even past that, right? Because we're hitting luxury, past the needs into what would you as a cannabis user or someone who consumes, what would you want, you know? So we're going to be putting together some amazing things, you know, like mini spa packages. We'll be having events literally right on site at the resort. We're really trying to set this up so that you do not have to leave. This is going to be a very curated and cultivated stay. Of course, you're welcome to explore, and we're going to help you do that. It is an extremely historical area. This is in the Thousand Islands region. And the Thousand Islands region, if you don't know, is, again, it's close to what we got, Syracuse, and it's literally like almost on the border of Canada. So you can see Canada from where we are. So we're talking about like weekend trips, week trips. I really look forward to creating some programming, you know, for the LGBTQ community as well. I remember, you know, as an event organizer, shopping around in Pennsylvania, trying to find the perfect, with another business partner of mine, the perfect resort to do something of like a camping weekend event for, you know, our LGBTQ folk out there. And it was extremely difficult. Did they exist? Yes. But did they call us back? No. And, you know, whether that was because we were queer or, you know, people of color, like who's to say? But long story short, as an event organizer, to me, it's refreshing to know that I can reach out to other venues that are owned by people of color, and to not have that experience, like not to even have to entertain something like that, like someone not giving me a call back when I'm giving them my bread, right? To do an event with them simply because of who I am. And we're trying to establish less and less of that because we have choices nowadays, right? We have choices. And I think that a lot of businesses are evolving into that headspace. Now, are they still out here racist and things like that? Of course, that's always going to exist, but they're getting smarter about not opening their mouths as much about certain things and caring about reviews and understanding how that affects their traffic on and offline. So again, that's what our mission and focus was with Destination Elevated, was early on, before the resort was even an idea, was to identify travel spaces that were safe for people of color and LGBTQ travelers, and then also identify those spaces that were not. So we have a reporting tool. If you go to our website, and you can anonymously, or if you want us to contact you to get more information, a little bit journalistic, if you will. But nevertheless, you know, our thing was we were tired of people not being heard on specific things. And these multi-million, billion-dollar companies, when they mess up, you know, they have a PR team, they have a marketing team. They're going to squash that information so quick. And, you know, having experienced some things of my own, having some very bad experiences of my own through some of these chains, some of these overnight stay chains, and, you know, not feeling heard, feeling silenced when I, you know, tried to blow the whistle on some of these things. It is very disheartening and disenfranchising, you know, so that was a huge part of what fueled Destination Elevated to be created. So we hopped in our 38-foot travel trailer and we literally zigzagged up and down the US, starting from New Jersey, heading down to Florida, and then it was just on from there. So in our travels, we got to meet a lot of interesting, wonderful, unique people. You know, anyone from, you know, round the clock RV travelers, you know, people like us who were committed to just living in our RV, to van lifers, right? And having those conversations that when you're not mobile in that way, you just don't think about. We think about travel a different way. We plan it. We know where we're going. We're typically going somewhere fun, like where other, travelers and people who are on vacation go. When you live on the road, that's not always the case. You always have to be concerned with your safety. You always have to be concerned with, where you're staying overnight, driving late night on the road, things like that. So, we really wanted to facilitate those conversations across communities because, again, there's a lot of discrimination against van lifers and people who choose to adopt that lifestyle. So, again, it was important for us to have those conversations and just tap into what those experiences were and how we could provide something alternative for all communities, right? So again, that was really important for us to do. Yes, we're a bit, I would say our team is a bit, I don't know, hippie has such a negative connotation, but I don't know, I love it, I accept it. But also very business minded. And that's what I love about us. That's what I love about working in the cannabis space is that, again, you have a variety of personalities and people. And the one thing that unites us all is the plan. After that is gravy, y'all. We can have a conversation about our differences. We can have a conversation about how we are the same. We can just, again, it's a powerful plant. It brings people together. It has helped refine, some of the things that I want in life, helping me refine my own vision, working with this plant. About 4 years ago, I started off in Philadelphia and, I was doing underground cannabis pop-ups for our community, for the BIPOC community. And what we were doing was providing an alternative environment. So at the time, a lot of the underground events were very male-centric and dominated. And also in a lot of ways, I'm not going to say they weren't safe. I don't like to say that because a lot of the organizers that I have met personally have been, very welcoming and wonderful. But again, as event organizers, we have to take it upon ourselves to create community guidelines, to create standards, right? For our team, our staff, for our guest conduct. And we have always made it our mission to be exemplary of that. Hey, these are our community guidelines and this is why. This is how you follow them. If you don't, you're not part of the community for however amount of time that needs to be. Because again, our goal isn't extraction per se. Our goal is to cultivate an environment where everyone feels safe, where everyone feels like they can be themselves and free of harm in any way. And can we 100% guarantee those environments? Absolutely not. It's ridiculous to even think that, but at the end of the day, again, as event organizers, you have a responsibility, you have a duty to your guests, anyone who is staying with you, anyone who is patronizing your business, investing in your business, and even those who are not. Like, we are the first pillar, if you will, in ensuring that when our community comes into our spaces, again, whether it's an event, whether it's a resort, a restaurant, they know how to act, they know what to expect and what will be tolerated and what will not be tolerated. And people will disperse the way they need to naturally. It's a very organic thing that happens. Don't think like, if you're like, hey, we're down for the LGBTQ community, that you're gonna have a conversation with somebody. Like somebody who's a bigot like that, homophobic like that, they're gonna see that and they're gonna leave. Problem solved, So again, we are very visible and vocal through a lot of our business practices, marketing, and just event strategies with ensuring that we do what we say we're doing, which is providing an inclusive and a safer environment for everybody, no matter who you are, right? So yeah, Destination Elevated was a huge, all of that was a huge part of fueling our trip and our mission, which kind of developed as we went, because when we hopped in this trailer out in Jersey, it was not with the intention of starting a docu-series or even a website. But by the time we got to Florida, that idea had fully developed. And by the next time we hit the road, we were ready. I was talking yesterday about how our very first stop was in Worthen RV Park in Worthen, Georgia. And they welcomed us day one. We came out for an annual event, I think a semi-annual event that they have, and pulled our trailer up. Again, we had never hauled a trailer in our lives, y'all. Like, never. Day one, we just hooked it up, drove on down to Florida. You never know what you can do till you try, right? It was terrifying, I'm not gonna lie, but we got the job done. So yeah, we went out, stayed at Worthen RV Park. It's a Black-owned RV park out in Worthen, Georgia, and experienced the whole boiled peanut phenomena, which I highly suggest you try. I've never experienced anything like that, but it was quite delicious. It was surprisingly delicious. I'm not gonna lie. Had some homemade moonshine. We danced all night long under the pavilion, and each of the days they had various activities going on. It was just it was an amazing time. Oh, we have Rochelle Sanchez on, the co-owner of Destination Elevated Resort. I'm not sure if she's going to be on later, y'all. She's not feeling well today, so I might be talking to y'all later, but that's okay. But I hope you feel better. We have Honey Pot Elevated Treats. Hello. Amazing treats out in New York. We love Honey Pot. But yes, we are, again, just ecstatic about this resort acquisition, about bringing in amazing brands. Honey Pot Elevated Treats, another example of a treat we could potentially offer on the resort. So again, so many things, y'all. So many ways to partner, so many ways to get involved. We are canvassing brands currently that we want to involve to help create this luxury feel and bring some amazing products to our guests who are staying on the resort. So if that's you, wink, wink, hit us up. But no, we're really excited about this. We covered some of the opportunities in cannabis tourism in a cannabis tourism series that we did at CUNY last fall. And we are going to be reigniting that series and bringing you some more pointed conversations about cannabis tourism, not just in New York State, but everywhere, and just various ways that you can get involved and start to rethink your business, from just targeting local consumers to how this can expand to an international market or the tourist market. So we're excited to have those conversations with you all. So if you're just tuning in, this is the 420 by 420 resort fundraiser with Destination Elevated and Lifted Lodging. Our team is ready to go on this resort acquisition. We're ready to put in our offer. We are currently asking for 420 contributors to donate a minimum of $42. So if you do that, by the 420th donation, we will be well above our goal for phase one. So the math is mathing for us. $42, let's see what it do. You can also contribute other amounts as well. If you actually go and hit the link in our bio, there should also be a hyperlink in the video that's streaming on YouTube right now. And then you can find all of the information you need to make the contribution. If you're on Instagram, that link is in our bio as well, or just comment if you're watching this later and I'll make sure it gets to you. I'm happy to answer any questions. And on a further note, if you're interested in investing in any way, if you're interested in some opportunities with us, right, to really get involved, we are happy to have a one-on-one with you. Again, just leave your information. You can DM it to us, whatever the case may be, and we'll make sure that you get all of the details that you need for that. Past the $42 contribution, y'all. So this is also a membership drive. So for $420, that will get you our first level membership, the Lifted Lodging membership. And that will earn you a 1-day, 1-night stay at the resort when it transfers into our hands this year. This is a very aggressive acquisition. We're literally intending on closing on this in the next 90 to 120 days, going through our due diligence period as well. We've already begun to do some things. We've already went out, visited the property, gotten all of the financials that we need. And our team decided that this was a very lucrative opportunity for everyone involved. So again, if you're interested in, becoming an investor on this project in some form or fashion, please don't hesitate to hit us up. All right. So yeah, if you have any questions, again, please let us know. Each day we get closer and closer. Any contribution helps. Again, in order to make change in the world, y'all, what we need money for this. That is just how the world works, right? So if we want to create the change we want to see, we want to create the spaces that we want to see, we have to invest in our own communities. We can't keep talking about this change we want to see and we're not investing in the people who are trying and the businesses who are trying to make these changes, right? So again, help us in helping you, help us in building a community for all of us, lifted lodging, destination elevated resorts. This is the first of many. This is going to be the first of many. I'm putting that out there. We're manifesting that for ourselves, and so be it. Like it is written. I'm all about, again, speaking things into existence. And speaking of that, if you can't contribute today, please just help us manifest this, because there's power in that as well. All right. So if you don't got the power dollars, just send us that power energy, right, to help propel us forward. All right. I've never talked so fast in my life. It's only 1:34. I feel like I've been talking for an hour by now. Rochelle, you were right. I am a talker. You were right about that. And that's why I'm here, I suppose. But yes, this resort, y'all. So it's 9 acres. It is sitting on a lake. So we have lakefront cabins. And this is another upgrade from the last property that we looked at. This specific property has these huge cabins, 4-bedroom cabins, big enough for a family to just live in, which is going to be great for like group travelers and things. The resort is 21 and up. So we will not be having children on the resort. It's not that type of vibe. No offense to the kids. I love kids. I have my nieces and my nephews, but there's other resorts for them, like water parks and stuff like that. So we're keeping it very grown and sexy for this, guys. That is very important to us. Again, for me, healing spaces are spaces that my children are not in. They're also spaces my children are in, like that's definitely a thing, but it's spaces they're not in for the most part. And that's just how I feel. That's just me. But no, it all has a purpose, and it's all about balance. And, we talked about that yesterday, how living in the city, being born and raised in the city, we oftentimes get used to a certain level or a certain level of anxiety, right? A certain level of existing. And literally before we got in our trailer a few years ago and decided to travel the country, I was having this conversation with my partner, and I said, I realized that I've been living in this state of anxiety, but it doesn't even feel like it. Like I'm not even recognizing the signs of it because I'm so used to it, right? And it got me thinking about how so many of us who are in the city, and not just in the city, whether you grew up in any type of traumatic environment even, how we're just in tune with that all of the time, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for us. We can get used to things that are not necessarily good for us, right? Like we can get used to laying in the sun, but if you do it for 24 hours, you're going to come out looking like a lobster, right? Like there's boundaries, there's levels to this. So it made me realize the significance and the contrast of that anxiety that I felt being in the city versus when I was maybe still in the city, but in a green space, in the community garden or in the park, just again, immersing myself in nature. Forest Bath Miami, shout out to Forest Bath Miami. We did an event with them. They do forest bathing. It's exactly what it sounds like. And we had an amazing, beautiful event with them. And then again, just getting people to tap in that part of them that even though they might not realize they need to be in the outdoor spaces, in green spaces, in community spaces, even if it's not outdoors, just being with community. Once you realize the difference, once, it's just astounding. And, these are things, again, that I know the more we talk about this, the more we get people to give up this self-stereotype, people of color, the self-stereotype that we apply to ourselves, that we, Black people, we don't be out in the outdoors. It's not true whatsoever. And I think that, us thinking that and not giving it a shot sometimes, we're limiting our growth in a number of ways, because there's a number of ways to grow. And again, it's all about keeping that balance and staying in touch with nature. You might not have the ability or the privilege even of constantly immersing yourself in green spaces, of being in the garden. I'm in Jersey right now, actually, and we're members of a community garden in the Bronx. So I'm actually starting to feel like a little garden sickness. I need to get there because again, it's a beautiful symbiotic dynamic that we have with nature. And if you know anything about plants, if you know anything about plant medicine, the plants that are specific to certain regions, the native plants, they develop their medicines and properties based off of human need. Isn't that amazing? That's just one of the most amazing things to me. So it's literally we are intended to live in harmony with the plants. That is intended. And that's evident by how they adapt themselves to be able to provide various medicines that we need depending on various regions that we live in. So I just want to leave you with that food for thought right there. But we're going to hang out for a few more minutes just because I love you guys. I'm going to be hopping on later at 7 p.m. Hopefully with Rochelle Sanchez. Next week, we're actually setting up some guests. So you don't have to just sit and listen to me ramble again and again. We'll have some other people to chat with who are in the cannabis tourism space, luxury cannabis market at that. We're really looking forward to that, bringing you some different perspectives, what they're doing, what we're doing, how we're going to work together. We're excited to bring on some new partners to this project. It's early, but it's not early. We're literally, I told y'all, 90 to 120 days, we're going to be upstate New York. And we're going to have our list of vendors that we want to work with, our list of brands and experiences that we want to offer. And your name needs to be on that list, especially if you are a marginalized business, especially if you're Black owned, Latina owned, woman owned, LGBTQ owned. Don't sleep on it. The only opportunity that you're not able to get are those that you do not seize yourself. We were talking the other day, sometimes the door don't even be closed, it just be cracked. And all you gotta do is push it a little bit. So getting out of that mindset, again, what we're doing, it's not easy. What we're doing, and I think a lot of people can resonate with this, with some projects that may seem unbelievable to their families and friends and things like that. What are you guys doing? Let me know when it opens type vibe, right? But I'm here to tell you today, I'm not trying to preach or anything like that, but we will open our doors this year. We will give back to those who have contributed and just sent energy, just wonderful, forward pressing energy to us, who have shared our campaigns. You know, again, this is a cycle, and we're not here to take, we're here to contribute. Like regenerative farming, like Rochelle's lesson. we're not extracting, we're also helping. You know, we're composting over here and helping to reinvest back into the land, back into what we're all doing here in life. So again, thank y'all so much for joining us this afternoon. You can actually visit destinationelevatedresorts.com. Wait for it. /420 by 420. And that will take you to the landing page for this campaign that we're doing. You can contribute right there. You can read more about what this project entails, and then also get information on the memberships. So before I hop off of here, I want to tell you a little bit about the memberships, because we're not just getting contributions. This is also a member drive. For those of you who contribute at the level of $420, you will receive certain membership benefits. Some of those benefits include getting your name on a plaque, on an official plaque at the resort. And these are our early contributors. I just want to be clear. We're only going up to our first 420 that will be able to have their name on a plaque at the resort. All right. Other benefits include, I'm pulling them up so I don't miss them, y'all, so I don't leave anything out. Okay. So yes, you are going to get public recognition, which, by the way, let me shout out some of our early contributors and also our 420 by 420 campaign contributors. We have Brittany Powell, Daniel and Lourdes Sanchez, Selma Zine, Catherine Attaway Brown, also Veronica Castillo, Heather Allman, Stanley Hopkins, Jeff Palmer, shout outs to Jeff, I appreciate you, and Joshua Sanchez. So add your name to that list, y'all. We're just asking for contributions of $42 or more, you know, whatever floats your boat, to help get us closer to the goal. Once we reach 420 contributors at the $42 contribution level, so many C's happening. We will have reached our goal. We will have surpassed our goal. So help us reach this goal. We're going to be sending out information on how you can get involved. If you're someone who is interested in earning a free membership with us, we actually are sending out information today about that via email. If you get 10 individuals to contribute at the $42 level or more, that will earn you a free day. And each additional 10 contributions at that level will earn you another free night stay at the resort when we officially open under Lifted Lodging. So again, exciting things, different ways for you to, hey, plan your vacation with us, right? So we want to, again, find creative ways that we can give back to those of you who are sharing, who are campaigning with us. Please come an official campaign partner. I can send information for that after the live. Like I said, feel free to comment. Any of those things, reposting again is welcome. That is love currency right there. We sincerely appreciate it. I'm rambling and I'm not going through the rest of your benefits. Okay, cool. You will get an invitation to our soft opening, of course, and that will be a members only shindig. And then of course, 15% off event space rentals at Destination Elevated Resorts with an S, because there's going to be more than one. So you're going to have options, you know? We are ambitious. We're very ambitious. I mentioned the 1 day, 1 night stay. So again, if you contribute at the $420 level, that will earn you a 1 day, 1 night stay at the resort. You'll also receive complimentary day passes for self-guided day retreats. Maybe you don't want us in your face catering to you. You just want to walk around. You don't even have to book with us. You're allowed, look at this as your sanctuary. Your community sanctuary where you can come rest whenever you feel. All right. And then you'll also have your first year waived, your first initiation fee for the first year waived. You'll get a digital membership wristlet, which we're really excited about as well. It will be a wristlet that not only allows you to access members only areas of the resort, but you'll also be able to make purchases with this bracelet with ease without having to carry around a wallet or anything like that. And you'll be able to make purchases at a discounted rate. So that's what, again, it helps get you your members only discounts and things of that nature. All right. I mentioned the unlimited resort access. And then of course, with our various partnerships and ongoing partnerships we'll be establishing, you'll be receiving different curated arrival gifts. So you'll get to try some, very unique luxury market products. And then what's most exciting about this for me is that, again, our early contributors at the $420 level, you will be the first to know when we actually open up for investors. So if you're interested in getting involved with this on a deeper level, again, we are first going to open that up to our early contributors. We refer to them as our flame keepers. We want that opportunity to be available to you because you believed in the dream early on, and you should be the first to know when that happens. So you definitely want to get involved, if not for that reason. And again, if you're interested in any of the financials and things behind this project, of course, we are happy to schedule a one-on-one with you where we can go into more detail about what we're doing, what the projections are for this resort over the years, some really excited things happening. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, we're looking to take over no later than July of this year. So again, we have a few months left to close on this. And then we're going to be, of course, the resort is open and, it's operating like currently. So this is going to be a pretty smooth way of changing hands. And then we're going to start to build in our aesthetic and do some of our builds on the resort as well. One of those things being a sauna. We want to have a couple of saunas on the property for you all to enjoy. And that's it, y'all. Make sure you go to our website, destinationelevatedresorts.com. You can find our 420 by 420 fundraiser donation page there. But if you go to destinationelevatedresorts.com/420 by the X 420, it'll take you right to our landing page. We also have it in the links in all of our bios and things like that, so you can find it. If for whatever crazy reason, like just the world's glitching right now, you cannot find the link, feel free to comment, DM. We'll make sure you get all the information you need for that. Again, this is the 420 by 420 fundraiser. We're asking for 420 contributors to donate at a minimum of $42. And with that, we will reach our goal to be able to acquire this resort in upstate New York, where we are merging cannabis and wellness and luxury and the outdoors, and really creating a membership-based, a very exclusive membership-based experience for you and yours year after year. Just sky's the limit with the types of events that we are looking forward to planning. Again, this is going to have a farm to table model for our restaurant. We will have a bar, of course, mocktail options, because that's what we do. And all of this is lakefront. Boating as well. It's just very, very beautiful. Again, we are creating this in a way that you do not have to leave the resorts unless you're hopping into a boat and paddling across the lake for a little while. It's going to be very cutesy. I'm just saying, but again, the goal is for you to really feel like you are just retreating from everything. Some of the things we discussed too, just real quick before we get off, we talked about some writers' retreats. Some of these cabins are just so picturesque and just, I don't even know what to call it. I was calling it like reminded me of something off of like Harry Potter or something like that. I don't know. Like literally one of the cabins is like nook. It's like in a nook inside of like rock. Like I don't even know how to explain it. We will be showing you the videos and the photos and things like that later, because I want you guys to get excited for that. So I'm going to figure out how to do it. Sounds like we have some emergency vehicles headed this way. Again, constantly hearing this in the city. I love the city. It's my birthplace. But we don't even realize how those things affect us. Yeah. Take me upstate, y'all. I hope you're coming with me. But thank y'all for listening to me ramble for a little bit. I'm gonna hop on and ramble a little while later. If you have a friend, if you have a network that you know would be interested in this project and what we're doing in some capacity, please share this video. Share our information. You can also, even if you're not contributing, you can sign up for our newsletter on Destination Elevated Resorts. That way you can get updates on this and what we're doing. When we open, you'll know about it, all of the good stuff. So again, thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful afternoon. I'm going to go get some lunch finally and roll up. But I look forward to meeting each and every one of you who have reached out, whether it was on this live or sent us an email over the last few days about getting involved. Again, thank you for being proactive, trying to keep this ball rolling. We're trying to keep the momentum rolling, and you guys are doing a fantastic job at making sure that happens. So we thank you so much. Have a beautiful day, y'all. Oh, I thought I ended the stream. I'm cracking up right now. Hold on.